welcome once again. This is Mario Reed, and I am sitting here with none other than Brian Bezzing, aka Kitana Prime, and we're going to be talking today about esports.
Yes.
And it's wonderful.
It's such a hot topic. You know,
Right.
I used to get shunned for playing games, and then here we are.
Right. Started from bottom, and now we're here, folks.
Yeah, on the way.
Right, on the way. So, in regards to esports, especially in the fighting game community, how do you feel how it's grown in the last 5 or so years?
It's
You've been
crazy.
around.
Yeah, for sure. I've been around for exactly that time.
Right.
And I came into a point where it was, we're running our tournaments and $200 prize pot, you get third, you might get your money back that you used for travel. And, we play for the pride of the competition. You want to be the champion. Money was never a big deal. And in terms of production, we always wanted to advance. But at the slow rate, we were kind of okay with it. And then people started to realize that esports was an actual thing.
Yes.
And the esports totem pole is pretty high. We're trying to, climb up as things go along. But it's advancing pretty rapidly, I'd say, especially in the past year or so. So that's progress is happening, and I would say I'm happy with it. It's coming at a pace that allows us to transition, as a few things have to change, obviously.
Right. And speaking of those things, we're starting to see more sponsors come in to pick up our top players, show them a lot of love, give them a lot of opportunities. How do you feel how sponsorship is shaping the community?
Sponsorship definitely changed the game. It helped a concentrated pack of content guys, top players, just people who are good representatives of a brand. Because one thing, a lot of people think to be sponsored, you just need to place. It's so much more than that. And once the average player begins to see that, they'll understand that branding and all this matters. But having those sponsors around to help a wider pool of players across every title get out and consistently do this and compete and show the greater audience why we love what we do and why it's interesting, it's a welcomed trait, because it definitely needs to be a thing, because everyone can't simply afford it like that, and you want to keep your eyes on the main attraction, so it's welcomed, and I think it's going along at a decent rate.
Nice. So talking more about sponsors, there's been a lot of concern that sponsors may shape the nature of the FGC negatively, specifically corporate sponsors. If you have any intel, could you speak on that?
Oh, that's hard, because I haven't dealt with any of the corporate side directly, so I couldn't really tell you the plans and stuff, but the biggest part of the FGC and what separates it from other fighting games, especially as an esport, is the pulse. Fighting games are all hard. It's play everybody, beat everybody, it's open, it's sure, there's your pro level guys, but everyone has that chance. And the intimacy is something we don't want to lose, to say it just as straight up as possible. And I would just hope that the sponsors coming in recognize that as we get towards structured leagues and things. In terms of the way people carry themselves and behavior and all of that, I'm perfectly fine with that. They're putting forward the money in these contracts and stuff. I understand that. It's a partnership, but I hope that the corporate guys understand what this is, and they try not to take too much away from it instead of building on it.
That's true.
Yes.
Speaking of building, we've got a lot of money building up in this tournament. $250,000 up for grabs. That's big money.
Yeah.
That's lotto money.
Maybe I should get from behind the commentary desk and start playing again.
Right. We're on the wrong side of the fence here.
It's crazy to... you play your entry fee, you show up with not even thoughts of the money, and then we had the Injustice Pro Series, we had an entire season where a collective of 600,000 in total. And this is fighting games, which are, some of the prize pools across esports, you take a look at the international and 20 million, or, what League is putting up, or Call of Duty, just across, it's ridiculous. Right. I go to tell people, hey, where'd you just come from? Oh, I just flew from Atlanta. I'm casting for ELEAGUE, and, the winner's only going to get $150,000, no big deal. And people are like, what?
What? Right.
And this is like the proverbial tip of the iceberg. This is us just getting started. So it's just crazy the opportunity that esports is bringing on, and these prize pools for a talent that people hone, all these years spent playing games is actually paying off, for a select few. But the opportunity is there for everyone.
And I agree. And just now that we're starting to see money a lot of sponsors putting in. How do you feel the feasibility of players making a living off of this? We know like Sonic Fox has won
for sure.
over $400,000 in the last 3 years. So we could definitely say he's making a living off of this. But there's a spectrum, right?
Yes.
I mean, so let's talk about that a little bit. So.
A lot of sponsored players have contracts, and they get, they all have contracts, but there's salary included in those. And making a living is definitely the dream, but it's not as simple as just play video games and show up and get paid. There's actual work to be done. Like when you're carrying a brand and representing a company, it's just like any other job, except you get to play video games. You hear the saying, do something you love and you'll never work your entire life.
Right.
Well, this is the ultimate version of that. If you ever picked up a controller in your life and fell in love with it. Now, it's not going to be everybody. And I think that's a fair assessment. You can't just throw around just because you're there. But there's guys and girls who have earned that. And the fact that making a living is even a possibility in this time is just a great thing. I would like to see that become the standard, for like the pro level of people across all esports. And again, it's all a slow burn. I think it's getting there as the structure comes together and the audience is building, because you can't have leagues without an audience,
right,
or fans and people to care. So I like the individual players who are doing a thing and making it happen, and the companies and the game developers and the scenes, as all of this grows collectively, because we're all in the same boat. And as we ride along that sea, hopefully it becomes standardized, and that's what I look forward to the most.
Awesome. Well said. Well, KP,
thank you, my brother.
Appreciate you coming on today.
Anytime. You already know.
You already know. Stay tuned.